Hi everybody, it's Amy Rich with amyrich.net. I'm excited to be here to share with you an alternate paper pumpkin project for the August 2021 paper pumpkin kit. I know I'm a little late, but better late than never, right? Let's go and enjoy this fun card that I'm going to make today. So I've grabbed a couple of the stamps from the stamp set that comes in this August paper pumpkin kit. And the Hope Box, I love the idea behind it from Shelly Gardner. She is so great and has such unique and creative ideas. So I just love this whole idea of the Hope Box. So we're going to use a couple of the stamps and of course the Blackberry Bliss ink pad. Blackberry Bliss is such a hot color right now that this is the second time I think we've received that color, or at least had that color in the paper pumpkin kit in the last few months. Then of course we have some sequins. We're going to use those, dimensionals, and then a couple of the other pieces. I was wishing it would have kept the languages in this particular die, because we're going to actually use the flip side. And I tossed them out and I wish I wouldn't have. That was so stupid. Keep these. Hang on to them. And then we're going to use one of these envelopes and this card right here. So let's get started by doing some cutting of these pieces here. We're going to start with this one, and we're going to cut it at 3 inches and then turn it the other way and cut it at 5 1/4 inches. So we have a piece that looks like this. Then we're going to take and do the same thing, cut this 3 inches. And then we're just going to cut this at 2 1/2 inches so that we have a piece that looks like this. So then we've got some extra scraps you can play around with on something else. Next, we're going to carefully take apart the envelope. So we're going to go to the back side, and I'm just even going to grab my snips and get under there. We want to be able to get it kind of clean, and it's not working very well. Let's try this side. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. But we want to get over to the edge so we don't take too much off. Okay, so here's what our envelope looks like. We are going to cut off the curved end. Then I'm going to turn this, and I want to make sure that there is 5 1/4 inches of that envelope here. So I'm going to turn it and cut it now. And that's why I wanted it as close and as carefully clean as I could. It was kind of hard, but I think we're going to be okay. So then we're going to turn it to that nice flat side. And then we're going to cut right down the score line. Now what you'll notice is this is thin paper, and sometimes it does fray a little bit. So go ahead and take your fingernails and just get all those little frays off of both sides. Then we're going to take this side first, and we're going to cut this at 1 7/8 inches. And then we're going to turn it this way and cut it at 5 1/4 inches. Isn't that pretty? I love that look there. Then we're going to turn this one, and let's see, what is the best way to tackle this? I am going to cut this at 1 7/8 as well. And then this is the piece that will layer on the other side. So I'll show you in a second. Then I'm going to bring in a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock and cut it at 5 1/2 inches. I will then turn it the other direction and score it at 2 1/8 and do the same thing on the other side at 2 1/8. And we are creating here a gatefold card. So then we're going to fold on the score lines. I'm going to use my bone folder to give it a nice crease. And then we will add these beautiful pieces as our gatefold layers. And just make sure to line them up so that they look nice on the outside. Then let's open it up. We're going to work on the inside next. I have taken a piece of coordinating cardstock, which is Melon Mambo, and I have cut it 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. And I have scored it 1/2 inch from each end. And I've also taken, as you can see, the layering circles dies, and I have cut, actually not that one, I guess. It's this one right here. I have cut a circle in the middle of this piece, just a little bit above center. And now I'm going to add this layer right over the top, making sure that I don't put too much adhesive in the middle so as to minimize the mess it would make to have that adhesive right here. I did get a little, but that's okay. All right, so then next what I really want to do is cut that circle out anyway. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut that right out. So now it looks like this. Now you can definitely adhere them both together and then cut the circle apart at the same time. I just had one cut from class and decided that I would do it that way. So you can certainly do it either way. So now I'm going to fold on these score lines and then use my adhesive to adhere it to the very center of my card. It will reach, the score lines will reach from top to bottom, and then I just want to center it from left to right as well. Then we're going to take this piece of white that we cut just a bit ago and bring in our butterfly stamp and our ink pad. So we'll ink up our butterfly and stamp it right in the middle. And then once it has a little bit of a chance to dry, we're going to adhere that to our card. We're going to slide it in, making sure that butterfly is in the center and that no white is sticking out the sides and no Blackberry Bliss is sticking out on top and bottom either. So this is about right. Then we're going to bring in 2 pieces of petal pink cardstock that are cut 2 1/2 by 3 and then scored 1/2 inch from one end. So we're going to use that bone folder again. Make sure they're nicely folded. And then we're going to take our paper snips and go in about 3/4 inch right in the center, maybe a little further. And then we're going to go from the corners to the end of that cut so that it's like that. And we'll do that on both sides. You can certainly do the same thing to the other side or just layer them together like this and trim it out. Use the first one as a template. Make sure I got it lined up here. Now we're going to slide this piece of petal pink in here like this. We're going to put adhesive on that short end, and then we're going to have it right up against that score line, and then centered from top to bottom as much as we can in this circle. So you can see that we will only see part of that butterfly here. And then you're going to close the side and really burnish that so that it sticks. And then when I move this piece, then it shifts to unveil the whole butterfly. That's pretty fun. And then we're going to take this piece and kind of do the same thing. So we'll put the adhesive on first, might be easier. And then we're going to layer this and tuck it under that other one so that they slide next to each other. This is a shutter card. I've heard it called different things, a shutter card. But we want this to be kind of the same way as centered from top to bottom in that circle as we can. And then making sure not to overlap the score line so that that flap can close easily. And then we'll really burnish it and adhere that on there. And then when we open like this, then you can see the butterfly appear. Oh, love it. All right, so once we've got that mechanism working like we want it to, that is so fun, then we're gonna make a belly band for it. We're gonna start with a piece of 1 1/4 inch by 10 inch Melon Mambo. I'm gonna bring that around the back and then fold that over in the front. And then we're gonna use our adhesive. I like to do a strip on top on one side and the bottom of the other. That way when you overlap, each end is going to be adhered. So we'll do that, burnish, make sure it moves. You don't want a belly band that doesn't go anywhere. And then you're gonna grab the ribbon that comes in the kit, which I am in love with. I wanna marry it or wrap myself in it, one way or the other. And we're gonna grab, about 14 inches or so. And we're gonna tie that over to the left in a knot, just in a little knot here. Oh, it's so pretty. It's gauzy and it's soft and it's so nice to work with. I just love it. Then we're gonna take our label. Remember I said I wish I would have kept the other languages. And then our ink again. And the sentiment from the Paper Pumpkin stamp set. We're going to stamp it maybe over to the left, just a hair, because we're going to leave room for a butterfly. So we'll grab our dimensionals and we're going to be a little bit generous with those. There are more where those came from. We can get them right from our catalog, right? But these are from the actual Paper Pumpkin kit. It's nice that the kits come with pretty much everything you need to create all of the projects that the kit is designed to make. That is fabulous. So we'll add that here. And then with some liquid glue, we'll add our butterfly as well. So we'll just add a little glue. And I grabbed this butterfly because it matched the best from the kit. I don't want to cover up any words, so let's just make sure you can read everything. And then we'll finish it off with a few of the sequins. So we'll grab the sequins for the butterfly. Oh gosh, they are flying around. And then we'll just add a random, oh my gosh, we have some hair or string or something there. We'll just add one more for good measure. Oh, and then we want to trim these down. They're a little wild. And then we've got ourselves a really cute alternate project with August's Paper Pumpkin Kit. I think it's fun. And when you take the belly band off and reveal that amazing butterfly, then whoever receives this is just gonna, I think they'll giggle with glee over how adorable that is. And let's get the belly band back in place here. So we're good to go. Thank you for joining me for this month's alternate project. It's been fun and it's a lot easier than it looks. And so give it a try. Whether or not you have the Paper Pumpkin Kit, it'll be fun to give it a try no matter what supplies you use. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching.